Hello, Colorado Fitness and Strength, formerly CrossFit Stapleton. This is your physical therapist, Tim. Got a request for a video from Coach Taylor. She says she's been seeing a lot of sore and stiff backs lately, especially as people work from home more and more. Probably been working from home for the better part of a year now. So we're gonna quickly go through three tips for optimizing your work at home station so that your back feels better throughout the day, so that you can better do your at-home workouts or your gym workouts. We're gonna count them down. So, tip number one, bring the ground up. So, I am 5'11", 6 feet on my Tinder profile. And the world is kind of made for people of my height. So desks are and chairs are. A lot of people are shorter than 5'11". When I sit in a standard height chair, you can kind of see, my feet touch the ground and they're happy. When feet touch the ground, our brains and our bodies feel more secure and more grounded. So if you are substantially shorter than 5'11", a really easy thing that you can do is bring the ground up to the level of your feet. I've had people do this in a variety of ways. So they can use a stepping stool, they can use books, just so we can see what I'm talking about here. Got a couple big old textbooks. So those go on the ground. Feet can now go on the textbook and the ground can effectively be brought up. Again, if you're under like 5'5" or 5'4", this could be a real game changer, because if you're left with your feet dangling in space, that's going to pull you forward in your chair, and then you're going to have to use back muscles to actively hold yourself into position. So bring the ground up so that your feet are actually in contact with something while you do work. It's going to let you stay far more relaxed. Kind of along that same line of thinking, we don't want a lot of muscles active in order to hold position when we're trying to do work. So this is why I tend not to recommend standing desks for most people. And if anyone's old enough to remember like the Swiss ball desk craze, where everyone swapped out their chairs for Swiss balls that are unstable, it's why most people still don't have Swiss balls, because on that unstable surface, you're constantly having to work to adjust your position, and your muscles are low-level active the entire time. So instead of getting up and feeling better, you kind of feel worse and stiff because things are having to contract to keep you in position. So that is tip one. Bring the ground up, especially if you're a little on the shorter side. Tip number two. See if you can do this right. Arms down, head up. So we have talked about optimizing from the ground up. Now we're going to talk about optimizing from the head down. Ideally, let's see if we can get you up a little bit more. When we are doing work, our hands can be comfortably resting at about the level of our elbows, so like nice 90-degree bend there. And this is where our hands would be interacting with hopefully a keyboard, hopefully a mouse. Our eyes, ideally, are not focused on that same space that our hands are occupying. So this is where hands down, eyes up kind of comes in. How do we accomplish this? So I've had people accomplish this in a variety of ways. If my tripod will oblige, there you go. Now you can see me. So if we have something like a Bluetooth keyboard and a Bluetooth mouse paired with a laptop, that actually works pretty slick. So just to give you an idea of what that might look like, so I could prop this laptop up on some textbooks, and that's still probably fairly low. So this sucker is now at eye level, and the human organism generally likes to look at things that are about at eye level. We're sort of made to scan the horizon. So this is at least elevating that which I am looking at to the level of the horizon, so that my neck and my mid-back muscles don't have to do anything weird to hold my head in position. If I'm looking down, then these muscles have to be active to pull me back, otherwise I'd fall on your face, you'd fall on your face, and no one wants that. So we have some options. We can bring the laptop up, we can get a Bluetooth keyboard and a Bluetooth mouse down there. That would be a pretty workable setup. Or we can leave the laptop down and do our keyboarding and mousing there and do something like a dual monitor and put that high. So eyes would be high and what you're working on is low. Again, hands down, eyes up. Hopefully that made sense. So now we've optimized from the ground up, we've optimized kind of from the head down. We're at a reasonable starting position. We're probably at a position that's best going to tolerate being there for the longest duration of time. That being said, and this brings us to point 3, there's no position that the human body likes to stay in for a sustained period of time. Think about when you sleep. You toss, you turn, you shift. It's the body's way of dispersing pressure over time, because if we were forced to maintain the same position, even if it's in this ideal position, things are going to get a little bit irritated, a little bit ischemic due to lack of blood flow, and that could generate a pain experience. It could just make you stiff and make you move less good. So, point number 3. I got 2 rules for you. So, we have the 160 rule. Every 60 minutes of work, I want you to get up and take 100 steps. This is to prevent everything that we just talked about, prevent muscles from kind of getting locked into a position. Just get your blood flowing in your legs, get your blood flowing in your arms. It's going to kind of help clear out some headspace as well. The other numbers in rule number 3. The 20-20-20 rule. This is especially important for people that tend to get tension headaches or eye blurriness the more that they do work on their laptops at home. So every 20 minutes, look at something that's at least 20 feet away for 20 seconds. I learned this from an optometrist friend of mine. But essentially, a lot of the muscles that control what your eyes do, like they're focusing, live in the back of the head. When you're looking at something very, very close, and especially if you're looking at something very close and looking down, these muscles are put in a position where they have to work really, really hard. And a nice way to give them a break from that is to look at the horizon, look at something far away for 20 seconds, just give them that brief exposure of relaxation. So by no means is this an exhaustive list of ways to optimize a home workstation, but as our good friend Benjamin Franklin probably once said, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I think I got that right. So these are strategies that we can use to sort of prevent issues before they arise. I'm not big into giving people like, hey, do this single stretch every day, because I don't know your body, and there probably isn't one activity that's globally going to be beneficial for everybody. But I think if you heeded these 3 recommendations, that you're going to be in a much, much better place to at least start. If you try those and your back still doesn't feel that great and you're really having limitations with what you can do with your home workouts or your gym workouts, drop me a line and we'll get you in for a free 30-minute consult. If you have any questions on this video, feel free to ask a question either in the comments below or directly via email, richartphysicaltherapy@gmail.com, or you could go to the contact tab of my website, timrichart.com. Thanks for watching.